All right, we're gonna go on a little ride here along a couple of the freeways here in Riverside, California, which is actually quite an adventure in itself anytime you get on a freeway in California. And then we'll go look at a couple of the surface street areas. It's a little bit later in the evening, and so it's a little bit cooler now. As you can imagine, it was pretty hot during the midday time here. So right now is a good time to get out and take a little tour. When you're riding out in Riverside County, it's different than when you're down in the LA area. Because out here, you're always looking at a lot of mountains, no matter which directions you look in, as opposed to being in the LA area when it's all infrastructure. Everywhere you look, it's just big buildings and a lot of businesses. So this is more of a, what would you call it, I guess? This is the rural area away from LA. I mean, it's obviously a city area. There are their own cities. We're like suburbs of the LA area. You can see people on right there at the dog park, giving their dogs a little bit of exercise. And we're going to head up here and we're going to get on the 91 westbound. And so we'll be riding into the sunset. And no matter what day of the week it is, getting on this 91 freeway, it's going to be a crowded freeway. But right now it's a Sunday evening, and so it may be a little less traffic. And besides that, tomorrow's Labor Day, so I would imagine there's a lot of people that left town on Friday going on their little Labor Day vacation. And so traffic may be a little bit less now than it would be on a normal Sunday. So that might make it a little easier. But as you can see, we've still got quite a bit of company with us. And since this is not rush hour, there's actually space to move in every lane. If it was rush hour, you would have what they call a fast lane and then your slow lane. None of that's true. The fast lane usually ends up being the slow lane because everyone gets over there thinking it's fast, and that makes it slower. And the slow lane is just slow. Right now, there is no slow lane. There is no fast lane. It's just go. That's a California freeway. And so we're going to go on up a little bit and get on the 15 northbound and head up toward the Ontario and Rancho Cucamonga area. And looks like we're coming to the end of these little hills along the side of the freeway here, so we're going to get a little bit of sunshine in our eyes here. And it's, as you can see, very bright in the camera and in my eyes. And if it looks like we're moving at a pretty rapid pace, you're right. Good perception there. That's just normal speed. I haven't spent a lot of time in many big cities. I've been to a few, especially back in my time of being in the military. I went to a few cities across the country here. But I imagine wherever you are, if there's big freeways like this, the traffic is always going to be moving at a pretty rapid pace. And we're approaching the interchange here to where we're going to get onto the I-15 northbound. And I head on up toward the Ontario area. And once we get on the interchange here, we you'll see the sunshine. It'll be out of our eyes then because we'll be heading in the north direction. So we're getting ready to go around the curve here. So you should see the sun head off to the left side of your screen and then out of sight as we're turning north here. And the sun has gone over to the left of your screen and out of sight. But for me, it's still shining right in my left eye. So let me pull this visor down here. Okay, and that makes it better. And we're approaching an area here known as Norco. And this is on the I-15 North here in Riverside County. And this is actually the northern end of Corona. And but actually it's not anymore. I guess they didn't want to be with Corona anymore. They became too good and too high class for them, so they wanted their own area. So instead of being North Corona, they decided we want to be Norco. So I guess it makes them feel better. And you can see over there on the left-hand side, past all of those little barriers there in the freeway, that's the fast track lane. If this was on a regular work day and it was like rush hour, this freeway would be packed and moving like a turtle. The fast track lane, obviously, you can go over there and pay like $100,000 or maybe a little bit less. And you get to get a little bit ahead of the traffic. But I've noticed sometimes it gets so crowded over there, it's like, why are you paying that money? It's not a whole lot faster. What's surprising is that there's still a few people riding over there today when there's no traffic over here in the regular lanes. But, you know, it's only like $1.49 I saw in some areas, like 60 cents. That's because there's no traffic. They get you when they can. You know, if it's really crowded, it's like, you know, just turn over your check. But right now, because there's no traffic over here, it's like, okay, well, just give us $1, you know, or 60 cents or something. Just ride over here. And so we're heading on up now toward an area called Eastvale. And I actually lived there, you know, some years back. Eastvale is kind of a newer area, kind of a newer city. It's been there a few years now, but when I lived there, a lot of people, when I mentioned Eastvale, they didn't know where it was. They thought that I was somewhere up in the northern part of California, you know, with the name Eastvale, but they didn't realize that actually Eastvale was a city right here in Riverside County because it was like a newer area at the time. To the right here, you see some of that area is kind of like a farming area. I don't see a whole lot planted over there right now, but they do some farming there. And actually, there's like some dairy farms out in this area. You know, if you go over, you know, to the right here, over into the Eastvale areas, you can actually find some dairy farms. So there's a little bit of farming out in this area. And we're still on the 15 headed northbound. Our destination is the Ontario area. And we're going to go a little bit past Ontario to the next city would be Rancho Cucamonga. They're both very nice areas. Ontario has the Ontario Mills, which is a very popular shopping center. And so that's like a destination point for people. But a little bit past that, you get into Rancho Cucamonga. There's an area they have called Victoria Gardens, and that's where we're going to be going to just to take a little ride around there. That's, a very much more of an entertainment area. And I'm going to get off here at 4th Street. The next street down is Foothill. I haven't been out here in a while, so I can't remember if you actually get off at 4th here or at Foothill to get to Victoria Gardens in Rancho Cucamonga. But if it is the next exit Foothill down, I'll just get on the surface street here and we'll continue on down that way to get to Rancho Cucamonga. So we'll make right at that light, and now we're on the surface street here in Ontario, and actually we just passed Ontario Mills on the left side, so we are in Ontario. So we could have kept on going to the next exit, which would be Foothill, and that's would get us to Victoria Station. But we're on the surface street now, so you can see a little bit of what's along the surface streets here in Ontario. And this is Milliken here. We're going to make a right here. And we'll just take this street on down to Foothill. This goes on through to Foothill Boulevard. So we're still in Ontario, but this will be taking us down into Rancho Cucamonga. Yeah, Milliken is one of the bigger through streets here in Ontario. So you get to see a little bit of, like I say, of the surface street area. This is kind of a business area, as you can see, a lot of businesses. And as you can tell, everybody else seems to have more of a defined sense of purpose than me, because they are just like heading by me with reckless abandon. I guess I'm going a little bit too slow for their liking. Looking at the camera, I guess you can say, wow, it doesn't look like you're going too slow to me. Whatever my speed is, they want to go faster. Okay, we're on Foothill Boulevard, and Foothill Boulevard, I don't know if you paid attention to a sign we just passed back there. It was a little post that said Route 66. Because Foothill Boulevard, this all used to be part of Route 66, the very famous route that ran from heaven to heck back in the day. I mean, just a long ways, It was, I guess that's where a lot of people back in the day came to California, chasing that California dream. Came on Route 66. Everybody was looking to drive the Ventura Highway in the sunshine. If nothing else, I guess they at least got a chance to do that, but I'm sure a lot of them didn't get to achieve that California dream they were looking for. But hey, at least they were here in the Sunshine State, and they made the best of it, and most of them ended up making a life here. And Okay, and we're turning the corner here. We should be coming up to Victoria Gardens right at the light here. And this is probably actually a better time to see it because it's almost, starting to get dark, and people should be coming out right now to enjoy the evening. And it's before a holiday, so nobody's going to be getting up to go to work in the morning, or should I say most people won't. And man, it has been a while since I've been out here. Okay, so we'll make this left here and we will be in Victoria Gardens. And here we are, officially here. Now, normally, I would turn right into this parking lot here and park and just walk. That would be my normal mode. Because normally, as you can see, that car just now turned from the left lane and turned right. But normally, on a regular day, it would be kind of crazy traffic through here, just crowded. So I usually just park right here in this parking lot and walk every place else. This is quite a social area, and so that's the whole point of this area. There's everything to do here in Victoria Gardens. And it actually looks like a lot of people are probably just starting to leave some of the main stores now. Some of the bigger stores may be getting ready to wind down for the evening. And I want to go to this corner up here and make a left. Yeah, and it looks like I'm not going to be making a left here. It's closed off. Oh, okay. Something's going on up there. Okay, so we won't be making a left here. Okay, I'm headed back. I turned around in the parking lot and we're headed back the other direction because that street was closed off. I guess maybe the next time I come down here, I'll try to make it a little bit earlier where there's a little more sunlight left and you'll be able to see a little bit better. I guess I'll go ahead and make a right here at this corner and we'll go down this one street real quick here. Just to get a little look at some of Victoria Gardens here. Now that one street back there, I wanted to make a left at. That's where one of my favorite bars in this area is. It's a restaurant, but they have a bar area that's like on the outside, right along the sidewalk. And so you're out in the open air watching people come by on the sidewalk and you're sitting there, with your drink, sitting up on the bar. Hopefully nobody comes along the sidewalk and grabs your drink and take a sip out of it. I've never seen that happen. But I remember going there one time and it was a rainy day and sitting there, and of course there was no rain coming on me because it's covered, but it's open to the sidewalk. And you smelling all the fresh rain air and sitting there having a nice cocktail. Yeah, that's kind of one of my favorite bars to go to, even on a sunny day. I like sitting there. And there's another one, kind of like maybe a block down the street from that's pretty much the same way. I kind of like that open air atmosphere, in the bars. Okay, let's see. Should I go? You know what? I am just going to opt to go left here. Because I think we'll just go around here and then just head on out. Because like I say, it's approaching sunset now, so. Okay, so let's go ahead and make another left here. and head back up the other way toward where we came from. The good old Cheesecake Factory. This restaurant up here, Brio. Yeah. I know they make a lot of fuss about it. I ate there once. I wouldn't write home about it. It's all right. I guess that's as much as I give it. It's all right. I guess it depends on your taste. And we'll make another left here, and we'll get right back down to the street that we came in here on. But there's a lot of nice little shops here, and big retailers as well. This is just good to walk down all of these streets and sightsee. You're doing a lot of sightseeing and shopping as you're going. Most people are basically sightseeing, and grabbing snacks, because there's like ice cream shops and candy shops. Okay, and we'll make a right here. We're back at the street we came in here on. And I've never eaten at that steakhouse we just passed on the left. They make a lot of fuss about that too, and I know it's expensive as all get out. I don't even know if I want to try it, but I guess maybe eventually I'll go there and give it a shot just to see what all the fuss is about. I'm not really a big steak eater. And then we're out of Victoria Gardens, and I guess that's about gonna do it for this little ride through Riverside County on this nice Sunday evening.